What is going on YouTube, and welcome back to another Wuthering Waves video. It's a bit of a different format from our usual think piece videos, but it's because we just got our first look at the upcoming 1.3 characters. Yes, before we even got any new information on version 1.2, we're already getting new drip marketing for the 1.3 characters. And there's a lot to uncover here in terms of what they could likely do in terms of their kit, and in terms of their relevance and presence in Wuthering Waves' story. So like I said, there's a lot to unpack here, so I won't waste any more time. Let's get on with the video. So the first character to get dripped is this 4-star character right here, Youhu. Wait.
Youhu.
Yeah, at this point it's kind of become a tradition, and we kind of need that person who did pronunciation guides for Genshin Impact and to bring them over to Wuthering Waves. But anyways, focusing back onto Youhu right here. Just looking at her, she's got this upbeat, skippy, a bit of a smug vibe. But that's not really the important part here. Right away, we can tell she has a bit of a necklace looking thing with the Glacio symbol in there, which kind of points to me that it should be a 4-star Glacio character. Now we already have Baizhi as our 4-star healer support. That's Glacio. We have Sanhua as our 4-star Glacio sub DPS, so it might be the case that Youhu right here might be the 4-star Glacio main DPS option. So she might be the Qixia for people that don't have Ling Yang and want to have a Glacio damage option for Tower of Adversity. And now looking at her actual description, it says she's a bit of an antique fanatic, a bit of an archaeologist. So maybe she's like Indiana Jones if he was like a cute anime girl. But one thing I really wanted to point out is the use of this word moi here. It might be another cruel localization moment, but I really wanted to fixate on why she used the word moi here. At first I thought she wasn't a native to Huanglong and Jinzhou and moved here to do her work, which is why she kind of brought over that Western French way of speaking. But then the fact that her name is basically how you would pronounce the Chinese characters, it's pretty clear to me that she's at least a Huanglong or Jinzhou native. So then why would she be using the word moi and come across as a bit of a Francophile? Well, I think there's a bit of a likely explanation for this. What I think is happening is the Wuthering Waves equivalent of Europe and France is likely right next to the Wuthering Waves equivalent of China, which is Huanglong and Jinzhou. And because of this, the cultural exchange that's happening between these two places will likely be stronger than if it was a cultural exchange between Huanglong and another country. So let me illustrate it for you. So as we can see from this graphic, it's likely that Huanglong or Jinzhou is right next to the border of the Wuthering Waves equivalent of France, meaning the cultural exchange between these two regions is much stronger and much more likely to happen than if it was between Huanglong and Jinzhou and some other region like the Wuthering Waves Japan or Wuthering Waves America. So what this means is that it might be that likely as the story progresses, we'll need to go from Huanglong or Jinzhou to the Wuthering Waves version of France. Aside from that though, there's not really much to say about Youhu right here. Most of the time I don't really look at these drip marketings to see what the 4 stars are up to. The real meat of these drip marketings is for the limited 5-star characters. So this is the limited 5-star character that was drip marketed alongside Youhu, the Shorekeeper. And I just gotta say, she doesn't have a lot of ornaments or accessories compared to characters like in Hoyo games, but she's very nice to look at. She gives me a nice combination of Sophia from Lies of P, Black Swan from Honkai Star Rail, and a little bit of Ronnie from Elden Ring all merged into one character. She's got this mysterious, ethereal vibe to her that I can't really put my finger on, but at least makes me interested enough to see what she has to offer in both the story and the gameplay. So right away, her element isn't as obvious as it was with Youhu, who had a giant Glacio necklace with her. At first glance, I think she'll either be Spectral or Glacio, and what role she fills could be completely up in the air. She could be anything from a healer support or a main DPS character. And it's also kind of impossible to tell what kind of weapon they'll use. For example, like with Jin Shi, we saw her in the cutscene in the story using her little spectral dragons, but what ended up happening was that she was not a rectifier user, but she was actually a broadblade user. So it could be that even though it looks like butterflies would be her main gimmick, the Shorekeeper could be a pistol user, a gauntlet user, a longsword user. It could be any of those things, we'll just have to see. But my personal theory is that she'll be the first limited 5-star support. I think if it wasn't zhezhi, it'll likely be this character. She just kind of gives me that supporting vibes. So it's a little unfortunate we can't pick apart any more clues in terms of what she'll do in terms of gameplay, but there's a lot to pick apart in terms of the story and the rover's journey. So the first thing I wanted to talk about is this little butterfly in the back here. Some of you might have already noticed this, but this is the same butterfly that appears in the Waking of the World trailer in both Camellia's shot and the shot with Changli, where the butterfly flies onto the Weiqi board and Changli puts the peats onto it, which then shows the rover. Now, it's pretty clear that she's part of the Black Shores, so her being part of the shot with Camellia makes a little bit more sense. Her appearing in the same shot as Changli is a bit of a mystery. Does it mean that Changli has a secret connection with the Black Shores and she's secretly accessing their information network? I think we'll just have to see how they expand on this. The next thing I wanted to point out is this part right here. I know it's a little bit of a sus area to look at, but her tacit mark is very different from other resonators and in characters we've seen so far. In a lot of our other characters, the points on their tacit marks are a lot more close together, whereas the Shorekeepers has a long gap here that separates the 2 points here. And what this could mean is that because she's an ancient divine being, her tacit mark might point to something in terms of how the lament originated, how the tacit discords originated, and what that could point at in terms of our role in the story. The next thing is that from her description, it appears that she has a very strong connection to us in the past. Her purpose only exists because of us, and she seems determined to make a connection with the world and with us. Now, because this character has not appeared at all in the story, there's a lot about her that's been shrouded in mystery, but just talking purely speculatively, I think her purpose could be very similar to Sentinel Dre, where we were the one to appoint her as the guardian of the Black Shores, similar to how we appointed Sentinel Dre as the guardian of the Jinzhou region. But what exactly we tasked her with is completely up in the air. Point is, she's by and far the most mysterious character we've seen in all of Wuthering Waves, from both what she could possibly do in-game as a character, as well as her presence and importance to the lore and the story. But I'm definitely hooked. I think I might pull her, and I'm excited to see what new information might come up about her. Now, the other interesting thing is we only got one limited 5-star to be drip marketed, and this could go one of two ways. The first is that the Shorekeeper is the only new limited 5-star unit for all of 1.3, because Changli and zhezhi were drip marketed back to back in the same day, meaning that because we got no new drip marketing after the Shorekeeper, this is all the new characters we're gonna get and we should expect. But the other option is just that I'm recording this video way too early, and there's actually another drip marketed character coming today, because as we know, Zhezhi and Changli were actually drip marketed one day apart, so there might be another limited 5-star unit in the second phase. It could be Camellia because she's also part of the Black Shores. We'll just have to find out in one day's time. But I wanted to go back to the possibility that the Shorekeeper is the only limited 5-star for all of 1.3. I don't think Crow is stupid enough to only run one character for an entire 6-week patch, so it could be that 1.3 is where we start getting reruns. Now, if that's the case, who could the first rerun character possibly be? Most people might think it'll be Jiyan, because he was the first limited character to come out, right? But I personally think that the first rerun character will actually be Yin Lin. But why would that be? Why would she be first and not Jiyan? I think it'll go a little something like this. It'll be because of Changli right here. It's very likely that Changli is going to be an Electro main DPS character, meaning that for a lot of people that had to skip Yinlin or didn't start the game when Yinlin came out, they're lacking the best in slot supportive option for their Changli, meaning that if they release Changli and then go into 1.3 and rerun Yinlin, a lot of players will have the best in slot limited 5-star Electro team ready to go. Because there's rumors going around that Changli will be given out for free, meaning that everyone will have a limited 5-star Electro main DPS, but not everyone has his tailor-made support. So if they rerun Yinlin shortly after his banner ends, a lot of people might be able to jump in and get his best in slot support. And that's going to do it for this video. Overall, 1.3 looks to be a very exciting patch. I'm probably going to skip all of 1.2 to save for the Shorekeeper and probably pick up her weapon as well. But that might change depending on what she actually is going to do as a character in the game. But I do really want to see what she reveals in terms of the lore and the story. Let me know down in the comments what you guys think. Will you be pulling for zhezhi, Changli or the Shorekeeper? And what do you guys think the Shorekeeper might add to our understanding of the story and the world? Thank you so much for making it to the end of this video. Consider leaving a like and subscribe, and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye bye!